Okay, how many single people say this? There's no one to date, or everyone's married, or I'll start dating when I lose 10 pounds.
It's those kinds of words and beliefs that might keep you single. We've got relationship coach Sheryl Spangler joining us now to break through self-limiting beliefs, things that are holding people back.
That's right, specifically of single people. First of all, Sheryl, define what is a limiting belief.
This is actually one of my most favorite topics. Limiting belief, that is really that voice in your head that tries to keep you safe and tries to keep you comfortable and kind of stuck. And
Right.
It tells you you can't do something. Because if you're going to try to do it, you know, the voice in your head tells you you may not succeed at it. And I'm here to tell you that if you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you can't. So it's all about the thoughts. Thoughts become things, so it's all about what's in your mind.
Yes, you really have to be careful what you tell yourself and what that self-dialogue is. And some self-limiting beliefs of single people who you've worked with.
Yes.
One might be something like, I'm not good enough, or I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not hot enough. Something like that?
Yes, that I'm not good enough one is actually a limiting belief that applies to most everybody in the population. And it really stems from our childhood, where the authority figures in our life kind of put that in our head. Could be parents, and they could say you're not pretty enough. I actually know someone that happened to. You could not feel good enough. Maybe you have an older brother who just excels and you're kind of an average student.
Oh, here we go.
And I've had that experience, and it takes a long time. They're long held and hard to get rid of, but you know, there are tactics that you can do that will really replace those with very positive beliefs. And that's what I work with my clients on.
The fear of being rejected. I mean,
Yes.
we all probably have that in some capacity. But when
Yes.
dating and going out there and just
Huge.
putting yourself out there with the opportunity to be rejected is kind of scary.
Yes, and what I tell clients is they're not rejecting you. This is something within them. This doesn't have anything to do with us. So it's very, very important that we have a very strong self-concept. And I think both of you have probably seen women and men, and maybe walking down the street, and maybe the woman is very much overweight and the man is very fit and nice looking. And I know, Colleen, we might say to ourselves, how does that happen?
She's rich.
She
hit the jackpot over in Kannapolis for $2 million the other day.
that could be, but more likely she has a very, very positive
That could be too.
belief about herself, and that translates to people. They pick up on that energy. If we're afraid of being rejected, we're going to be. If we know we're going to succeed, we're going to.
I hear a lot of my single friends say that anyone worth dating is already taken. They're already married, they're already attached. You believe that is another self-limiting belief. If you walk around as a single person believing that to be true, then it will be.
It will be true, because you're not going to put yourself in position to actually find those people. They're not going to find you. That's a very important piece. If you say to yourself, all the good ones are taken, which is one of the most popular limiting beliefs of single, you're not going to be wanting to go out and do things that are going to put you around single people. And the truth of the matter is, they're not all taken. There's an awful lot of single people out here in the world. And
see, I think that too, but I think I have different eyes because I'm a married person. But when I hear people say that, I go, I meet all these perfectly dateable people all over the place. I mean, really, who seem, you know, who are attractive.
And you're thinking if you were single, you might go out with them.
Yeah,
right?
that's what, there's perfectly dateable people all over the area, I think, at least through my eyes. But I hear from my single friends, oh, there's nobody to date, everybody's married.
Colleen, just look at the divorce statistics. There are so many people that are unattached. And I can tell you I'm in the single world all the time. There are so many people that are unattached, and you have to get out there and you have to meet them, or you have to have someone help you meet them.
Or if they're attached, maybe the attachment isn't really tight.
That's right. That's right. You never know. Judging from the number of divorces, Paul, I think it could be.
Well, how do you help your clients, the people you work with, how do you help them get over these self-limiting beliefs? I mean, if people really believe this to be true, that everybody worth dating is already taken, or that they're not attractive enough or good enough, how do you help them get over that and see otherwise?
I actually start, and when I work in coaching with somebody, I actually start with identifying they're hidden. We don't actually know that they're here. And when we go through a series of exercises that help pull those out, what are your hidden self-limiting beliefs? Those always come out, and they always come out consistently for people. And so what we do is, it's a process, and it's very easy to do. You have to know what your limiting belief is. So if you feel I'm not good enough, or I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not rich enough, or whatever,
Right.
then turn that around and say it in a positive manner. I'm beautiful. If you feel beautiful, you're going to be beautiful. You are beautiful. People are going to get that from you. But you can't just say it once. And if you don't believe it, we're not going to believe it. So get in front of the mirror, look in that mirror and say, I'm beautiful. And say it twice a day. Or first thing in the
I think
morning,
more
last
than
thing
that.
at night.
I think more than that. I know
It's-
you think this is hokey. I know you're listening to this thinking it's hokey to stand in front of the mirror and say you're beautiful, because I know
Do you do that?
No,
It
I don't.
works.
But I have in my life. There was a
Right.
period of time when because I really struggled with image issues, and I still,
Really?
yeah.
Why?
And I still do from time to time. But I think
Yes.
that, and I worked with a therapist who said you have to actually write it down too. Write it every single day.
Really?
Like 21. The magic number was 21 or
30
something.
days. 30
20
days.
Write it several times for a month, and then it becomes a regular thing, and then you actually believe it, because it's hard for somebody who doesn't feel good enough or attractive enough to
Yes.
say, oh, okay, I'm pretty, and really believe it. I mean, to really get in that and to get yourself to understand that, you have to do it repeatedly. I know it sounds hokey, but try that
Sounds
if you
like it
struggle
works.
with it.
It does.
It does.
It's scientifically proven
Yeah.
that if you do it twice a day for at least 30 days, it does work. But the key is, the person who's saying this has to really believe it. Has to be believable. So if you're saying a positive affirmation
Right.
that you can't quite get your head around, then you can say, you can't use it regarding pretty, but you can say, I am becoming rich. I am becoming successful. I am beginning to. Something that allows it to get into you so that you believe it. Because again, if you don't believe it, it's not going to work.
And
Saying it's
you
not gonna
worked
work.
with Dancing Joe, and he didn't want to dance, and now look at him.
Okay.
I'm a dancer. I'm a dancer. That's the affirmation for the day. Sheryl Spangler, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
As always, great advice. Just remember, act as if. Act like a person who
That's
wants
right.
to meet somebody, and that goes a long way, too, in my personal opinion. Anyway, more Charlotte today, right after a quick check of what's coming up on News Channel 36 at midday. Here's Jeff.